Hey everyone, today's just a quick look at the Msi Z690 Godlike. For those of you that don't know, this is a board that was originally announced, I want to say like early this year. They teased it, and a lot of reviewers got it in a huge bundle that included the Kingston RAM, an AIO 360 from MSI, and the board itself. So that's the reviewer's bundle. That's not the bundle you purchase that's available from MSI directly, Newegg, and in my case, Micro Center. I want to preface this to say that I purchased this myself, and I want to say that MSI customer service, in general, when I was inquiring about this board when it was announced, is garbage. Because I sent them emails, I DM'd them on Instagram, I DM'd them on Twitter, no response. And before this board came to the store, literally 3 days before, I called MSI customer service for motherboards, and they didn't even know what the board was. All right, so whoever's running that whole customer service team at MSI, not the RMA department because they're okay, you guys seriously need to get your shit together. All right, I mean, when you have someone trying to figure out how to buy your most expensive motherboard, you should at least know what the motherboard is. All right, it's just that simple. I spoke to more than one guy too, so anyway, let's get to the packaging itself. Very large case, about the same as the 590 Godlike. I was expecting a larger box, but you know, guess not. But okay, so let's get this open here. No motherboard seal, seal on the box. You get a little necklace. I don't remember seeing this on the previous ones. Don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. There's a whole dragon thingamajiggy here. I don't know if I can zoom out a little more. Ooh, okay, yeah. My table's not that large here, so it's not gonna work. It's just distract. Okay, so anyway, you get that. You get the board itself, which I will take out now, and then we'll go over the stuff later. Take out the board. It's a big board. It's not as heavy as you think it is. It's heavy. It's not as heavy as, I think the Asus Extremes are about the same weight. You get these pieces, which go onto the board they're kind of like wire covers, but as far as I'm concerned, I haven't figured out how they got on because I haven't really played with them yet, but you can tell that these are kind of ATX screw positions, right? So you have that, and then you have another wire cover, same thing, 2 screw positions. I don't know how it goes on, I haven't looked into it, but you can tell it goes on the board from the photos. So let me get into the accessories you get. So right off the bat, if you don't know, this is, you assemble this and it becomes kind of a platform where you can mount the board onto. This comes with a lot of the Unify boards, the Godlikes, and this allows you to kind of have a floating, I guess, kind of test bench. That comes with the board. Although I don't know how well this will work on a larger board, it's the same one. You get an MSI USB stick with the drivers. You get an two MSI screwdriver on a keychain, Phillips and flathead. What the hell is this? I have no idea what this is, but this looks like to me like some type of tool. Let's take a look. What is this over here? Does it even come out? All right, what is that? Oh, a brush. Okay, so I normally don't play with all these accessories, so I don't care for them. Let's file this inside. All right, so what else you got? This looks like an M2 screw of some kind, and more M2 screws, although this one looks different, so I'm not sure if it is an M2 screw. M2 locker, M2 screws, M2 locker again, and the M3, what are these things for? This may be M2. You know what, this may be helpful in attaching those covers to the motherboard I was talking about. I'm not sure. I have to check the instructions, guys. And then what else you get here? Wi-Fi antenna, stickers. Oh, really nice stickers, actually. What's that? Cleaning cloth, stickers for labels, join MSI rewards, booklets. Thank you for choosing Godlike. Please register your Godlike. Booklets. Yeah, see the DIY stand set booklets. Yeah, there you go. So nothing here too out of the ordinary. And then you get the MSI bag, which I'm sure has plenty of cables. Let's see what's in here. SATA cable, braided, nice, black and red, doesn't really match. DP to mini DP, I guess that's helpful. Another DP to mini DP. What is that? It's like some type of front panel. Okay, this looks like an RGB JST extension. What is this? Okay, this is to charge that little remote thingy. I'll put that on the side because we're actually going to use that. Another SATA braided. You know, why can't they just give them in black? What's this like red and black crap? Okay, this is for obviously some type of RGB. Oh wait, no, this is not RGB. This is the equivalent to the Asus front panel header. Just so it's on a wire now. I guess so you can hide it. It might be on the corner. It's a dongle. What's this? Okay, 3-pin RGB extension or whatever. Another JST to RGB. Temp sensor. Oh, a lot of stuff in here. Another SATA braided. Another RGB cable extension. So this is a splitter. So there's a lot of RGB cables. That's all the rage. But I like to say right off the bat, this is a very nice package. Between the packaging and the so forth, it's very nicely done. I feel like I spent $1,200. I get $1,200 worth of accessories and junk, you know. So I feel good about that. Unlike with the Asus stuff, which Asus really needs to work on their packaging. I mean, compared to Aorus Extreme, all that, it's kind of subpar at this point. Let's see, anything else back on the box? Nothing. All right, so let's take a look at the board itself, and then I'll break down the board, and we'll just go from there. See, big board. For you guys that don't know how large this board is, it probably doesn't look that big on camera, but when I compare it to a standard ATX, EATX, you get the gist. Okay, whoa, that is kind of heavy. All right, so, okay, this kind of came off, this thing, but that's okay. All right, so, all right, let's look at the back first. 2.5 and a 10 gigabyte LAN. Lots of USB 3s. All right, super speed, NVision, BIOS flash. I believe 2 Thunder ports, Thunderbolts. Mini DP in. Interesting. I guess maybe that's for a pass-through for this. I don't really use Thunderbolt, so I'm not too knowledgeable on that. But nonetheless, Wi-Fi 6E, standard audio. But overall, that's oh, it stands up by itself. Nice. Flash, CMOS clear. It's good back panel. No real complaints. I think at $1,200, it's a $1,200 thing. Back plate is kind of simple. Nothing too fancy. Obviously, only takes LGA 1700 from the holes. You don't get the multi-function holes like you get with some of the others. Beefy heatsink, very beefy actually. The entire thing is heatsink. I don't know the phase count, but that's quite a bit. I'll look into that. Yeah, looks good. Definitely top tier. All right, so you get CPU fan here, system fan, no CPU optional. First 8-pin, second 8-pin. Let's see here. That postcode. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of NVMEs. I'm going to take it off and we'll take a look. But I know there's a lot of slots down here. Down here, audio, RGB, system fan, LED switch. Interesting. BIOS switch, so I guess there's more than one BIOS. System fan, USB 2, USB 2. I'm not too sure what that is. I think that's for a lot. It's one of those like MSI overclocking things. Flow sensor, temp sensor, and rainbow. I like how they put rainbow. So there's RGB. And your front panel header. Okay, so come to the side. More fan headers. All system fan. Two 3.1s, 24 pin, 3, and then 6 SATA. And then this is the thing that you guys probably saw the most. So this comes out. This is the Screamajiggy. And you see there's a power connector here. And it needs to sit in there for it to work. So that's why earlier I was saying we need this cable, because this cable essentially powers it. I've seen one video somewhere where one of the press guys had it hooked up. I think, yeah. See, it comes in, it's supposed to be magnetic, kind of like the MacBook, right? Comes on like this, and then USB has to go into this system whatsoever. So it's not something that has a battery on its own. It does have a speaker, as you can tell, okay? But we'll get this booted up. I will remove this so we can take a look, and then we will put a chip in here and boot it up. All right. I took the covers off. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 slots under here. That's quite a bit. Obviously, if you populate all the slots, you're going to compromise some of the PCIe slots or some of the SATA ports. I'd have to look into the manual to find out exactly what compromises those would be. But I'm guessing you're going to have this, probably make this unavailable. Stuff like that. There are these locking tabs. Let me try to zoom in here. There are these locking tabs, and they're not very good. They kind of freely rotate. See that? And that's really just kind of shitty at the price point. I mean, the ASUS does a much better job. But these covers, they do have these kind of quick slot in attachments. So you can see it matches right here. And I think that's a very smart way for the RGB implementation, since these do light up. And you see, this thermal pad is not securely attached. It's not very sticky, so it comes right off. So that's not really preferred. And I don't know why, but you can see that there's like all these indent marks from the screws, which I'm not a huge fan of. Other than that, nice, no plastic down here, all aluminum. Should be, yeah, all aluminum. And just to show you guys the relative size comparisons, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here, and then I'm gonna put this Godlike here, and I'm gonna bring over a Z5, is this Z590? Yeah, this is Z590 Hero, and you can get a good idea of just how large that board is. All right. It's not as large as the photos, showed they were, but if I lay this on top of this board here, you can just see lined up how much extra board there is. Okay, so that EATX comes up to about here or so, right? So a little more than EATX. All right, or regular EATX. Okay, so with that said, let me get this hooked up, and then we'll go from there. I have the board plugged in. It's running. It's kind of not that bright RGB wise. This is in the dark. You can kind of see the panel. I'm just going to turn on the lights because I don't think it makes a big difference on the camera. The Godlike area here and the dragon is they light up, and it says Godlike, but it's kind of very not visible. Even if it's not the plastic, it's just not very visible. So even when I peel it off, you can't. You kind of see this dragon there. You kind of can't. So I mean, but a lot of RGB behind the like a two-way acrylic mirror is kind of like that, right? So installing Windows Update, of course. So I can't. Yeah, it didn't work with the installation I already had, so I had to start a new one. But you can see that it gives you the temperature of the CPU, and it gives you humidity reading, which is kind of strange, but all right. And then you can come here if you hit the settings, you can change some of your like OC settings on the fly, safe boot, OC retry, and the shutdown. There's no, some of the higher end boards have a start reset button. All of that comes through here. This is tap to wake pretty much, and yeah. So and then there's a clock function. A countdown timer? I don't know why that would make any sense, but okay. And then if you go to, I'm sorry. If you go to the advanced, it will ask you to please download MSI Center to enable functions, which I was in the process of doing, hence Windows Update. So once that gets updated, I'll come back, I'll disconnect that thing. Like, see, this thing just comes right off, right? So you can take it off at any time. Ooh, that's kind of warm. And then you can put it back, and then it kind of just wakes back up. Also, I noticed when you boot the machine, which I will show, it reloads every time, and it makes these kind of, you can't hear it, but it makes this very faint dragon roar, kind of cheesy. And if you have an error code, like your VGA has a problem or something, it will say VGA error, check error code. But then it will be like kind of this very, like, I don't know. It's like sci-fi sounding, like Caucasian male voice, but not really. But right now, you see the machine just rebooted, and you can see it's doing the boot code here. The same as on the boot post LED, it's the same boot codes. But it doesn't cycle, it doesn't show you like what it's currently doing. Kind of like the OLEDs on the Asus's would do. They tell you, it's checking RAM, whatever, etc. This doesn't tell you any of that. It kind of has that same screen the entire time. You do get a special kind of, I don't know if I can, flash away, but on the BIOS, you get that kind of like Galaxy, MSI, Dragon, same thing they have on their website for the Godlike, this board. But I'm hoping you can see most of the RGB. The RGB is not that super bright, except outside of this, probably this line right here. So I'll wait till this finishes. I'll try to get the software working. I can't promise that because MSI software doesn't always work amazingly. But I will mention that these are the SK Hynix Dell sticks, and I was able to run preset memory profiles in the BIOS perfectly fine. So this is running at 6000 right now, CL48, I think. So yeah, it can, quote unquote, unlock those kind of sticks. But with that said, let me get this up and running and we'll come back. I have it hooked up now. It's on a super, the USB cord is not very long. I would say it's probably 3 feet. So you'd have to keep this 3 feet from your case. And there's no mount or anything, so you would just have it laying flat, I guess. And the connection here, it's not solid because the connector is a little short. So it can only plug in this one way, it can't go the other way. And it kind of just does this idle screen. And if you click on it, it brings up the same thing as it does when it was in the motherboard. Now, if you press the advanced now, it brings up these shortcuts, which are some of the dumbest shortcuts I've ever seen. So you go to this, and that's your CPU BLCK ratio. You go shut down, restart, and if I come back, it's a little laggy too. It's super laggy. It's like a first generation Android phone. If you press the music, it launches Windows Media Player. If you press the internet, it launches your default browser. I don't know why you would see, and then it goes back to idle super quick, and then I guess you can launch your calculator. I don't see the point in having these as advanced functions. So just to show you guys, so on the MSI Godlike website, if you scroll down, it says built-in LCD display on the motherboard, and it tells you it's got a speaker function which you can barely hear, so you're not really going to hear that. And then it has magnetic connection, that's true, and it says customizable with software. And then it was showing me some examples. Here we go. You can see it has, I guess these are if you get an overheat. This I did see like on the boots, you would get these if you had an issue booting. And I mean, I can't get it to display things like that. Your weather, I don't know where this is. Yeah, see, even here it says the countdown. I don't know why you would need your motherboard to do a countdown. But okay. So if I come here to the download screen, if you notice, there's nothing here but BIOS on the BIOS page, obviously. And if I go to firmware, there's LED firmware, driver, there's just onboard sort of drivers, but no software for this M Vision. If I come to utility, it just tells you to download the MSI Center, and then ADA, CPU-Z, and none of these Intel Extreme 2, none of these things are related to that. And if I come to, say like the actual MSI Center, I come here, I don't think it's any of these. They don't look like they would be it. And if I come to what is there? There's a scan function, I think, under support. And if I do a live update and I ask it to scan, just scan the system and see what it's missing. It comes with the drivers, third-party utilities, Norton Security, etc., and Microsoft app, Realtek Audio. So where do I get the software to control that? I don't. You see what I'm saying? Like this is what I was saying earlier about, maybe it's not in Mystic Light. Oh wait, MVision dashboard. There you go. Oh, I see. Okay, so here it is. Finding out together. I guess I can. Does that thing display? All right. CPU socket. All right. Let's pick PCIe 1. I have a GPU in PCIe 1. It's not running at 9,999 degrees, but okay. I guess you can show fan speed, voltage. Let's do CPU voltage. Hardware stats. What is DDR status? Okay, well, I guess you can pick a design. So let's just hit apply and let me see what happens. MSI Center crashes and nothing happens. Okay, so after putting it back in, I didn't have to reboot, but the unit itself actually powered on. So you can now see it has the CPU that I picked earlier, core temp. It was kind of showing that on a smaller display. So it's showing, I guess, PCIe 1 temp, which is my GPU, is at 54C. And the design is this background with the design. And I tap it, does it change? No, it doesn't change when I tap. Oh, outside when I hold. Okay, so, and DDR status is, there's no status for DDR. I don't understand what the hell the point was the DDR status. But I guess if you leave it idle long enough, it'll start cycling through that stuff. See, that's the thing. I don't. See, if I click on advanced, I click on the arrows. What's this? Oh, this wasn't here before. Okay, this is here now, and it launches MSI Center. Okay, all right. But anyway, so you guys get the idea. This was probably like the #1 gimmick on this board, outside of maybe the size of it itself. I would say that, I mean, it's a cool board for 1300. It does have a lot of expansion slots for NVMe's, and it has the MSI BIOS is not that bad, and I mean, it is an overclocking board. It has enough phases to handle whatever you need. If you want a big board that looks different and that's a little bit cool to an extent, I guess, sure. I picked this because I plan to put this in my 928, which is a very large case from Inwin. I did post a photo of it inside the 928, but I haven't, I'm kind of waiting for the next Intel chip to drop, like a higher core count to drop in for that. I may not run a 12900K. I'm running a 12700K on just this test. I may not, I mean, I guess I can run it with a 12900K for now, but yeah, the screen thing is super stupid. It's so stupid. I guess it's just like I don't even think they can improve it with software, because I think they went really cheap with the processor that's in it, and I don't see, like, this is how stupid it looks if you were to take it out of the board. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that. If I raise the brightness on my camera, right? That looks so dumb. Like, no one's running that. Okay, so no one's gonna be doing that because it looks stupid as shit. You put it in here, and it's like, okay, it shows you stuff that it's not, I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, let it roar. But that's the board. Once I get it up and running, I'll do a system. I'll probably have a video on it, obviously, and then I'll give my impressions of how the board is, on regular usage. But it's just a big board. That's all I can really say. Okay? Well, thanks for watching, and take care.